Good evening. Good evening, my friends. Such an exciting night. If you wouldn't mind taking your seats, we're going to get started. I love a talkative group. You all like each other so much. It's wonderful. Welcome to the Travel and Tourism Industry Achievement Awards Ceremony. I'm Shannon Kelly. I'm honored to be here. Thank you. I love spending time in a room full of people who have Oregon's past, present, and future at the heart of everything they do. So thank you. A round of applause for all of you for being here. And I must say, I'm absolutely certain I'm at a tourism conference because y'all are the friendliest people I've ever met. I've had more friendly interactions in the elevator in one afternoon than I have in the entire last month of my life. So, wow, that's really saying something because I'm from Central Oregon and we consider ourselves very friendly, but we're gonna have to work on it, I think, because wow. Wow. So a couple of things. If you haven't noticed, there are some beautiful cakes on your tables. They are edible cakes. They are real cakes. We are very grateful to the Lovin' Oven in Staten. All the cakes are different flavors. So please feel welcome to share with neighboring tables. A little bite of carrot for red velvet and so on. And also, please hold on to the small bags you were given as you entered the room. Those are gonna come in handy later. Really, keep an eye on yours. Don't let anybody snatch it from you. Very important. So now it's my extreme pleasure to introduce to you everybody's favorite Todd, CEO of Travel Oregon, Todd Davidson.
Can I be one of your friendly greetings? I hugged her in the elevator too. Because it's the tourism conference and that's what we do. Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Salem and welcome to the 39th Annual Governor's Conference on Tourism. As was mentioned, my name is Todd Davidson. I'm the CEO at Travel Oregon. I am absolutely thrilled to be here in Salem. I am thrilled to be with you. I'm thrilled to be at the Governor's Conference. I'm just thrilled. Bottom line, I'm just thrilled. It is so good to be able to be back here together with you guys. We've got a fantastic couple of days in store with our breakout sessions, with our keynotes, with the breaks we're going to be able to take, and most importantly, just the time to connect. I think year after year when we do the survey about the conference, it's like, what was one of the number one things that you got to do? And it's like just being able to be back together. That opportunity for us as an industry to be able to come together and reunite and share the energy and the passion that we have, not only for the industry, but for this beautiful place that we have the privilege of promoting. The theme of this year's conference is Stewarding Oregon's Future. And I believe that in order for us to be able to move forward confidently and courageously, it's important for us to reflect on and to learn from the past. Tonight, this means that we're gathered to take a look back at a year of excellence, a year of exceptional work and dedication and innovation that's demonstrated throughout our industry and across our state. So my friends, welcome to our annual Oregon Tourism Industry Achievement Awards banquet. Each year, these awards pay tribute to the efforts of those who use their skills, their resourcefulness, their creativity, and their innovative spirit to help create a better life for all Oregonians. To kick off our ceremony, we're going to commence with the highly valued honor that represents the culmination of the Oregon travel and tourism industry's deep appreciation for long-term devotion, long-term commitment, accomplishment, and service by an individual or group of individuals who have enhanced the Oregon visitor experience and elevated the presence of the travel and tourism industry here in Oregon. This is our annual Governor's Tourism Award. And in Oregon, my friends, we are very lucky people. We are very lucky because we have a governor who supports the travel and tourism industry, understands the value it plays in our state's economic vibrance, and commits to visiting every county in Oregon in her very first year as governor so that she can amplify the spirit of unity and confidence and hope that she has for our state. And she did. She did. She was visiting counties before she was formally sworn in as governor to get a jump start on that commitment. And she continued to visit all 36 counties within her first year to listen, to learn, to meet with Oregonians where they live, to be able to hear about and address those critical issues that matter to all of us as Oregonians. My friends, I can think of no better person, simply no better person, to present the Governor's Tourism Award than the governor of our great state herself. My friends, join me in welcoming our governor, Tina Kotek.
How you doing? I might just stick around and steal one of those cakes. They look really good. It's so great to be here. Welcome to Salem. Welcome to the Oregon Governor's Conference on Tourism. Good to see you all. I realize I might not have told Todd a little fun fact about the governor. I used to be a travel agent. It's a long story. But I was a travel agent, and I know the value of traveling to places, because I did this when I was an agent, to learn about a place so that I could sell trips or sell plane tickets and say, you should go to this place. So I am just so excited to be back, year 2, joining you tonight for this conference, and I'm glad you're in Salem. So thank you for being here. This is an amazing turnout. And I know you're going to have a fantastic conference to share ideas, to get excited. You're all people person, people. I already had a couple hugs already, so it's all good. So as Todd was saying, the theme for the conference this year is Stewarding Oregon's Future. And I think being good stewards is a responsibility that we all have as Oregonians. And the tourism industry is well positioned for this role as you embody the spirit of hospitality and welcome to our beautiful state. So thank you. We must continue to have a state, our beloved Oregon, where everybody feels welcome. When Oregonians travel around the state or when visitors come to Oregon, we welcome everyone with inclusivity in mind. You have put that value into action by improving access to trails for wheelchair users, creating sensory-friendly experiences at our airports, and developing cultural exhibitions that tell important stories about historically underrepresented communities. You are telling Oregon's story day in and day out and bringing people here and across our state. And they are learning, and they are loving our state, and they are feeling welcome. As Todd mentioned, since we gathered last time, I have completed my 36 county, 1 Oregon listing tour last year. It was amazing, absolutely amazing. We know it, you know it, there is so much beauty in Oregon. The physical landscapes, the people, the things people do, the things that people love. We do really live in a wonderful place. As I tell my fellow governors when I go to the National Governors Association, we do have the most beautiful state. You know, it's essential that when people come here, that everyone has the same opportunities to experience that beauty and that wonderfulness. From our public coastlines to the wilderness of our state and national parks, our scenic areas, the wind and waves in the Columbia Gorge, and the vibrancy in our cities, and to taste the food and the craft beverages that Oregon growers, chefs, and producers are famous for. In fact, when I was at the White House last, I was like, when do we get some Oregon wine on the White House menu? So I got to work on that. So while you show up for our visitors, I know you also show up for our economy. In 2023, tourism generated more than $14 billion in spending across our state. $14 billion with a B. and supported more than 118,000 jobs in Oregon. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you for the efforts for our state, for our economy, making it strong for future generations, and thank you for protecting and respecting our people, our places, and our cultures. I am absolutely thrilled to work with you in spirit, and I'm grateful to each of you for helping our visitors understand the importance of doing the same, ensuring that the Oregon we love will be here for generations to come. So, tonight I get to hand out the Governor's Award, so thank you. Tonight is an evening to celebrate the immense contributions of Oregon's travel and tourism industry to our economy, an industry of you folks, dedicated professionals who help welcome our visitors and share the best of what our state has to offer through our enduring spirit of hospitality. On my tour around the state, I met with Oregonians in their home communities, and I experienced the natural beauty of Oregon's urban, rural, and frontier communities. One experience that stands out for myself and the First Lady of Oregon as an example of Oregon's pristine beauty was our visit to Lake County and Lake County's dark skies. It's my honor and privilege tonight to kick this special evening off by announcing the 2023 Governor's Award winner, the Oregon Outback Dark Sky Network. I feel like Bob Barker. Come on down.
Let's go, I'll hit the road with you. Let's go, where our hearts they lead us to. 'Cause home is anywhere when I'm with you.
Most Oregonians probably aren't aware that they live in a state that has some of the darkest sky in the world. It's like the Grand Canyon. It's like Yosemite. It's a defining, unique, pristine feature of the state that most people don't really realize.
The Oregon Dark Sky Network is really just a conglomerate of all the folks that are advocate for a dark sky and maintaining a dark sky in southeastern Oregon.
It's a cooperation and a partnership and a team of all the different people that are working on making dark skies and dark sky tourism a reality in Lake County.
We had to convene multiple stakeholders from public lands, from state, federal, county, municipal, nonprofits, chambers of commerce, private citizens, bringing all those people together, educating them on what we were trying to accomplish, which was to protect their Starry Night legacy in the Outback.
I feel like the stewardship for the night sky is such a new thing because we haven't paid attention to it in the rest of the country at all.
You know, I'm a land manager. I manage resources. And it took me a while, but I think of dark skies as another resource. And it's something that when you look around the country is pretty scarce.
Dark Sky International has a Dark Sky Places program that certifies places internationally around the world. You can't just say that you're dark, you have to prove it. And there's a very specific scientific way that that's done. So you have to collect the data, you have to do the light inventories, you have to come up with a light management plan, you have to have education and outreach programming.
It covers a large geographic area with a lot of different people involved. And trying to bring all of that together into a document that meets all of the different agencies' requirements was definitely a challenge and took a lot of time and effort.
I feel proud of the people that did this, that followed through and completed this really exceptional thing that we all get to experience now.
The Oregon Outback International Dark Sky Sanctuary was just certified on Monday. We now have in Oregon the largest dark sky sanctuary in the world.
The size that we actually certified is 1/2 the size of New Jersey. So it's enormous.
That was a request from public lands partners to keep things big, to disperse visitation.
even though we're inviting people to come and we expect tourists to come to the area, flock to the area, they'll still spread out and they'll still have the dark sky and that solitude.
You have to invite everyone to the table so that there's ownership, because we didn't want to have a certification where we certified the place. Now all the work that follows, there's no one interested in doing that.
And it was very critical to have that buy-in.
Breaking down people's fears and really trying to get them on board, that took time.
I would always try to debunk one myth in any of the conversations I was having, and the primary myth was that it was about no lights. You had to have no lights. And it's not a no-light movement.
I would say it's dark skies, not dark ground.
It's good lights. It's smart lights.
Yeah, you've got lights. You don't have to turn it off. Maybe a shade, but I know of people who were very opposed to this to begin with that are 100% behind it now, just because the effort was made to educate.
That's another role of the network, is to become an information loop within communities, so people always have a place to get good information.
I just thought it was such a great opportunity to really exemplify what small town Oregon has to offer to people that are from the big cities that don't get to see these dark, beautiful skies with stars everywhere and just the things that we actually get to see here. We take it for granted often.
There's so many days I'm out here working and I just stop and look around and just feel blessed to be out here. To me, it's as good as it gets.
This is only the beginning. This is just the first few steps of trying to bring that recognition forward of what value the dark skies actually have to us all.
We're an outdoor state. People mostly come here because of our exquisite outdoors. And now we just extend that daytime opportunities into the night.
It's the recreation niche that we have to offer here that you really can't get anywhere else.
It draws adventurers and it draws respectful people who want to get to know the land.
It's just plain wrong not to leave another generation to see stars. So many people don't even think to look up because they don't expect to see anything when they do.
Think of the legacy of the generations of kids that are going to have a sky that's as clear or better than what it is now.
So I was so excited, I jumped ahead of my script. But I do think, just to clarify, all the work on the ground and all the local coordination that you saw captured in this video to designate 2.5 million acres of the Oregon Outback as the world's largest dark sky sanctuary, it's pretty amazing. I'd probably put an expletive in there, but this is a nice crowd. It's very amazing. And it were volunteers, and it was grassroots, and it was our tribal leaders, it was our business leaders in this community, it was our elected leaders coming together to do this. And we know that dark sky tourism is just a meaningful and sustainable way to experience a destination, and it is a true gem for our state. And so I'm going to say again, tonight's winners, the Oregon Outback Dark Sky Network. Congratulations. Please come up here and share the joy with the crowd tonight for your award.
Thank you so much, Governor Kotek. And that was a fabulous video, by the way. I love that. And then, but what I want to say truly is, on behalf of all these people in the network, all kinds of folks who did this work over 5 years, thank you for seeing the work that we did in this part of Oregon that so often just doesn't get seen, and for recognizing the power of collaboration in rural communities to really get things done. So thank you. Okay. Thank you so much.
So thank you, and come visit and come see those starry skies. They are incredible. Thank you, everybody, and have a good rest of the night.
So here's a little known fact about how desperate Bob Hackett and the folks in Lake County were to get this dark sky sanctuary designation in place. The Oregon Tourism Commission held their meeting in Lake County in June, and he found a way to knock out the power, knock out the internet. I'm not kidding. We were sitting at the bar called the Eagle's Nest. If you know Lakeview, you know the Eagle's Nest. And they couldn't run your credit card, so only people with cash need to show up to drink, or you're buying rounds all night long because you're the only person in town with cash. And it was, but it was well done, Bob. Seriously, Bob, congratulations to you and to all of you that are here, and all the folks that are back home that weren't able to join you here. Because I know this was truly the it takes a village kind of an approach. And not only did it take a village, it took years. I know this didn't start last month. I know for the years that you've been out there measuring light, and encouraging folks to put in the down lights, the good lights. So it's been a tremendous amount of work. And now to put Oregon on a global stage, where first and foremost, there's only a few of these dark sky sanctuaries in the world, period, and then to bring Oregon, the largest, by probably twofold, the largest dark sky sanctuary in the world. Well done, folks, well done. You're an inspiration to all of us. This conference would not be what it is were it not for the many sponsors and exhibitors that show up to help support and encourage our great work. And it's my great pleasure right now to bring up someone who is not only one of those key sponsors, but they are a key strategic partner for all of us in the travel and tourism industry. Please welcome Greg Astley with the Oregon Restaurant and Lodging Association. Greg, come on up.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. Well, I don't know if it was a privilege or a punishment to have to follow that award and the governor, but one more hand for the Dark Sky Network, please, and the folks from Lakeview, Lake County. As Todd mentioned, Greg Astley, I'm the Director of Government Affairs for the Oregon Restaurant and Lodging Association. I'm a poor man's substitute for Jason Brandt, our President and CEO, but he is at a 40th birthday dinner for his wife, Natalie, tonight. So he knows what the priorities are, and I respect that. So tonight, I just have a few minutes to tell you a little bit about ORLA, the Oregon Restaurant and Lodging Association, our 2,800 members. That includes our restaurant, our lodging, and our allied members. And our mission is rooted in our 4 pillars, which includes workforce development, industry intelligence, advocacy, and products and services of value. Now, the last couple of years, as you are all very aware, have been difficult for the hospitality industry. The good news is it feels like we're finally coming out of it. It feels like there finally is a light at the end of that tunnel, and it may not be there for everyone just yet. We still have challenges to go through, but together we are better than we are individually. And as Todd mentioned, this conference does not happen without a lot of partners, and the work that we do does not happen without partners. And right now, I would like to recognize anyone who's on the staff here at Travel Oregon, not only for this conference, but for the work that you do, providing the industry information, helping to get this state out there so that people will come and visit. If you're with the Travel Oregon staff, could you please stand for a minute and be recognized? And along with our partners at Travel Oregon, the work could not be done without the folks at the local and the regional level. Those destination management organizations are truly the heartbeat of their communities. They are the ones that interact with our visitors so often, getting them here, and then once they're here, making them feel welcome. So if you are with a local or a regional DMO, would you please stand and be recognized for your work? Three organizations have come together over the last several years, Travel Oregon, the Oregon Destination Association, and Orla, to create a program called the Oregon Tourism Leadership Academy. We're in our 5th year. We have 100 participants now that have taken place in this program. It's about 20 people a year. They go out 4 times to different areas of the state, and they learn more about what Oregon has to offer, about our visitors, about tourism, and about advocacy. It's a program that we're incredibly proud of. We're continuing to take those applications in the fall this year for our next class. But if you are a current participant or a graduate of the Oregon Tourism Leadership Academy, would you please stand and be recognized for the work that you've put in? So now everybody's had a chance to get up and down a little bit. We've had our exercise. It's time for the entree, okay? Todd, I want you to know that I have a raspberry lemonade cake at my table if you're interested, because I know, and I'm sure this is going to come up later, but in addition to Natalie Brandt's birthday, it happens to be Todd Davidson's birthday today. And I don't want to steal anybody's thunder, but I am sure we're going to be singing happy birthday at some point in the program tonight. So, do you want to do it more than once? Should we do it now and then do it again? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Todd. Happy birthday to you. Now that's worth a standing ovation, folks.
You know, the nicest part about partnerships is when partners become friends. I don't think that day will ever come for Greg and I. Thank you, Greg. That was very kind. Continuing on in the sponsor theme, I also want to give a shout out and ask to come to our stage Michael Laffey. Michael is the VP of Marketing at the Mill Casino Hotel and RV Park. Michael, come on up, sir.
Not that I'm keeping score, Todd, but everybody else got a hug.
So sorry, man.
I feel much better now. Yes, my name is Michael Laffey. I'm the Director of Marketing for the Mill Casino Hotel and RV Park over on beautiful Coos Bay. But more importantly, I am the head basketball coach of the South Coast Special Olympics basketball team that went into Medford Regionals this weekend and took the bronze medal. So as I go around to these conferences, people ask me all the time, like, Michael, you're not tribal? You're a marketing guy. What made you just one day decide to get up and go to a casino and this is what I want to do for the rest of my life? And I'm pretty sure my parents didn't have this plan for me either. They weren't like, oh, honey, so cute. I hope we can send him to college and he can go give away cars for a living. You know, that's not how it worked. But I will tell you how it worked. You know, the beautiful part of being a creative and a marketing person in the tribal casino world is that if I can think it, I can pay for it. The budgets are awesome, right? The second thing is I've been doing this for about 30 years now, and I've been trying to tell people for the past 25 that casinos are great, casinos are fun. It's the last great safe haven on earth where adults can go misbehave, right? It's the only place left. So, you know, the smoking, the drinking, the gambling, the dancing, all that kind of stuff, it's a safe place. And for years and years and years, I've been telling people it's the last place on earth where adults can go misbehave. But this is my third year now at the governor's conference, and I've been lying to you for 25 years. There's two places for people to go. There are casinos, and there are tourism conferences. You guys are crazy. So when our sales director said we're going to sponsor this again, and I believe we've done this for about a decade now, she said, "Can you get up and say a few words at the conference?" And I said, "Yeah, you know, what do you want me to talk about?" She said, "You know, say something really smart about tourism marketing." And I'm like, "Cool. How long do I have?" And she said, 3 minutes. And I'm like, "Oof, okay, that ain't going to happen." So as we got along through this, I decided not to talk about marketing in the tourism world because we all deal with that every day. I want to talk a little bit about the Coquel Nation that I work for and their contributions to tourism and the local economy and the social benefit to our area. It's been a great honor for me to work for the Coquels for the last 2.5 years. In case you didn't know, from the 1850s to the 1950s, timber companies, fur trappers, gold miners, the U.S. government nearly eradicated the tribes west of the Cascades. And since 1989, the Coquels have been building an empire, bringing it back, giving themselves an opportunity to succeed, providing education, healthcare, and housing for their people. It's an absolute honor to work for them. Not only are we one of the largest employers on the coast, but we're really good employers, you know what I mean? So almost 2 years ago now, before there was any rumblings about this in the paper, oh shoot, I just aged myself, on the internet, about wages, the mill enacted a $15 minimum for every entry-level person. Before it was popular, before it was mandated, we did it because it was just the right thing to do. Another thing we did is during COVID, during the pandemic, we offered every one of our 500 employees a $5 an hour raise if they simply got vaccinated. And 98% of our employees took that and did it. So we've been doing those great things for a while now. I think the other thing that you will notice is tribes, not just the Coquels, but tribes all over the West Coast, interior, wherever, are building more than just hospitality outlets. Everybody's got very diverse portfolios these days. So the Coquels not only have a casino, we have a hotel in another market. We have fisheries. We have forestry. We have lots of different things. Our own healthcare program. So as these things diversify, I've heard this term come up over the last couple months called indigenous tourism. I'm like, what's that? Well, some tribes have gone to the point to build heritage museums, to build places where people can see artifacts, tribal culture centers. When I started out in this business 30 years ago, that wasn't right. But now everybody's doing it and celebrating their own cultures within their other offerings that they do. So I thought I'd take a second to talk about what indigenous tourism means to the Coquel people. Now, when I think of the word indigenous tourism, it means something different to each tribe, and it also means something different to each traveler. So what we're asking you to do is not simply go to the gift shop and get yourself a keychain and a coffee mug, although that's awesome, keep doing that. We want you to take it a little bit deeper. It's not necessarily just about the selfie you took in front of the dugout canoe or even up north in front of a totem pole. We're asking you to go a little bit deeper. What we're asking you to do when you're down on the ancestral lands of the tribes that you visit is respect and reflect a little bit. So what I mean by that, when you go down to any of the awesome beaches that we have in Adventure Coast, take a walk on the sand, take a walk down the beach, but don't just do it to break in a new pair of Crocs. Take a minute to think about the thousands of years and the multiple generations that did not use that beach as a place to play Frisbee. They used it as a place for sustenance and shelter. and transportation and basically taking care of their families, right? So when you're in the woods and you're traveling to one of our beautiful cascading waterfalls, to us it's just a tree. To somebody else it was a way of life. And before the term sustainability ever came along, the indigenous people were doing that, but there was no word for it. You know why? Because it was just the way it was done. It didn't need to be described. And when you come down to our rivers and float down, whether you're holding a rod or one of those cool like margarita things you can get in a can, those things are cool. You know, think about the fact that for thousands of years, people precisely navigated those rivers without GPS or an outboard motor. So when you come do some indigenous tourism, we really, really hope you do. Just take a minute to respect the land and take a minute to reflect on who was there before us. I hope you all have a great conference. Good evening.
Beautifully said, Michael. Plenty there just to reflect on, and I appreciate your presence here and the sponsorship and support of the Mill Casino Hotel and RV Park. It's my pleasure now to introduce someone who is, I guess, what I will call part of another sponsorship. The Port of Portland has been a longtime sponsor of the Oregon Governor's Tourism Conference. And with them, they have brought a couple of different components to that, and one of those we're going to do tonight, and one of those we're going to do tomorrow. So the one we're going to do tonight, it is now my pleasure to introduce to you Stephen Zilke with Delta Airlines. Now, Stephen and his wife live in Sherwood. His wife, Sarah, by the way, they are expecting their first child in May, a little girl named Zoe. So we can begin praying for him because sleep will become a word, but little more than just a 5-letter word in your vocabulary, something you used to do many years ago. Now, both of Stephen's parents also worked for Delta Airlines. Mom was a flight attendant for 44 years, and his dad is, well, he's kind of a ne'er-do-well. If the name Zilke is familiar to you, David Zilke, who you've seen at past conferences, is his dad. David also came up through Delta Airlines, and you may recall, David was also a member of the Oregon Tourism Commission and served as chair of the Oregon Tourism Commission for 2 years. But what's important to know, I think, about Stephen, in addition to a soon-to-be dad, is his connection to Delta Airlines and the importance of Delta Airlines to Oregon. Delta is one of the largest airlines that's serving Portland and serving the state of Oregon. And they, not only here domestically, but also with the nonstop air service that connects us to Europe on that nonstop to Amsterdam, that's traveling to Amsterdam throughout the year and providing us with that hub that then connects us to probably 80 other gateways beyond Schiphol Airport there in Amsterdam. A significant connection. A risk that Delta takes and a risk that we gladly support and work alongside them every day to help support that flight with our investments as an industry, as we're promoting Oregon to international markets around the world. So please join me in welcoming to our stage Stephen Zilke with Delta Airlines. Stephen, come on up.
Well, thank you, Todd, for the very kind introduction. We are working on our sleep, again, as much as we can before May. And I told myself I wasn't going to eat before, but the food was just really delicious, so I ate a little bit. Can we just give the staff that's working tonight a round of applause for a great service? Everything's been phenomenal. And also just want to thank Todd and the Tourism Commission for putting on this great conference. It's an honor to be here tonight representing Delta Airlines. And at my first Governor's Tourism Conference, to be able to speak in front of all of you, the leaders of the Oregon Tourism Commission. Growing up in Oregon, I had the opportunity to explore really the world-class attractions that the state has to offer. And as Todd mentioned, my wife and I, we are eager to show our daughter really what the state has to offer. If it's going to visit Haystack Rock at Cannon Beach, vacationing at Black Butte for a week, or simply just walking the Tom McCall Waterfront Park. We're just excited to show Zoe just how great this state is. I'm also proud to represent Delta and the 300 employees that work at the airport and provide world-class service to your customers that travel to PDX every day. And then our nonstop service to Amsterdam, to and from Europe, provides great connectivity to bring in international travelers to Oregon. And then now I'd just like to show a video that would reflect kind of what makes Delta one of the great airlines in the world. So if everyone just turns to the screen real fast.
Statistically, the world is losing color. Everywhere you look, gray, beige, greige. But who wants a greige world when we could have this? Honey yellow. Periwinkle. I won't. Teal aqua. Indigo. Put another way, things stay the same when the same is where you stay. But at Delta, in every one of the hundreds of destinations we fly to, simply opening your eyes can open your world.
Every time I watch that video, it makes me want to travel, see the world. So with that, there's a lucky winner in here that's going to be able to travel. If everyone should have received this PDX carpet bag. If not, you should be able to grab one. But does everyone have one? If you reach inside, there's a lucky winner, and there's a golden ticket inside. If you would take a moment and just get that PDX bag out. And is there a golden ticket winner out there? Anyone? All right, over there. Congratulations. If you want to come to the stage, you just won a pair of Delta Premium Select tickets anywhere in the world that Delta flies. Congratulations. But feel free to come to the stage. But thanks again, everyone. I hope you all have a great conference. Delta Premium Select anywhere in the world, and then Travel Oregon will connect with you and get you. Congratulations.
How about a round of applause for Delta Airlines and Meg, our lucky winner. And I just want to say to Todd, you have the rest of the night off. Happy birthday. Thank you, Stephen, and thanks again, Delta Airlines. What a fun thing to have during this conference. So next, we have something very special for you. Oregon's cowboy poet, Tom Swearingen, tells stories of the people and land of the American West through original cowboy poetry inspired by his own experiences and observations from the saddle. The 2022 and 2019 International Western Music Association Male Poet of the Year, Tom brings his stories to life with rhythm and rhyme and a storytelling style that makes him a popular performer not only at cowboy gatherings and horse camps, but at libraries, historical centers, and wherever else you find folks who appreciate the cultural heritage of the West. Please help me welcome Tom Swearingen.
Thank you. By way of further introduction, I'm a rootin' tootin' wordsmith, a bronco twister of tall tale, a creator of compositions on the wily Western Trail, wranglin' danglin' participles, culling near rhymes from my word, replacing with truer pairings so as to build a stronger herd. I'm a range-writing cowboy bard, mending imperfect tenses, penning grammatical structures to stimulate the senses. I put order to arrangements of consonants and vowels, accentuating syllables to the rhythm of my rowels. I build my loops of metered rope, toss my twine of nouns and verbs, some sonorous recitations, others lighter, witty blurbs. So rhyme 'em cowboy, letter buck. I'm setting poems to flying. I hope you enjoy, but if you don't, at least by gosh, I'm trying. Thank you. Thank you. Well, it's a real honor for me to be here tonight. It really is. So proud to have been asked to come and share a few of my poems. And particularly, I'm going to share some poems that pay tribute to this great state or have been inspired by my experiences horseback. I'll start with just a few lines for Oregon from a grateful native son. I have roamed all corners of this state at lope or trot or walking gait from vantage point of horse's back, on vast wide range and single track. Smelled the air of sage-scent mesas, followed ruts and ancient traces of nomads, beasts, and those who came to stake their claim and bring my name. Watch desert devils spin and dance, their dust trails haze the far expanse and fade and lift to leave behind my outlook clear with inspired mind. I've cut the tracks of wild Mustang bands, packed deep and cool at timber stands. I spent enough time around city walls to know I prefer a coyote's calls. Circled herds on high grazed grasses, trailed them down steep switchback passes. Spent many nights with stars my lamp, bedded in a remote camp. Picked way across rivers snaking down from mountain range and hilltop crown. Seen life they bring to valley floor and then fresh the salt at ocean shore. I've come to love this diverse land where creative fires can be fanned. 6 decades here have made it clear I'm glad my roots were planted here. Oregon is a sacred ground where coiled up thoughts can be unwound and strung in lines to then be sung with passionate voice and angel's tongue. So now my plan's for me to stay until my final earthly day. And if that works out, then I'll be blessed to ride my days out in the West, to Oregon. So I have had the great pleasure of covering a lot of miles horseback on this state in Oregon. And I want to take you to the far southeast corner of Oregon. Anybody ever been to Diamond, Oregon? Yeah. You know, you drive into Diamond, Oregon, at least last time I was there, you drive into Diamond, Oregon, it says population 5. And I asked that question once, and somebody in the audience yelled, "Yeah, I used to live there." And I don't know if that means that the sign used to say 6 or they just haven't changed it to 4, but not a lot of people in Diamond, Oregon, but there are a lot of cattle. And my wife and I have had an opportunity to help a ranch, a couple friends of ours that run cattle out of Diamond. Let me take you there on a little roundup, helping them round up some stray pairs on a grazing lease that was 4 canyons wide, 25 miles long, right up to the Steens Mountain Wilderness area. We're working out a cow camp up at Cucamonga Creek on a late summer gather for now going on a week. My wife and I are helping a friend named Tim O'Crowley. He and his wife Susan run the cattle in this valley. Each day some different work to do, maybe ailing cows to tend, of course rounding up the strays, and there's a fence or two to mend. Diamond Valley lies before us on spectacular display, a big old slice of heaven on a bright September day. Southeast Oregon, high desert, where the cougars still run free among the sage and paintbrush and the quaking aspen tree. Looking southward up the canyon, miles of rimrock wall to our right. To our left, wind-swept mesas, not another soul in sight. Steens Mountain in near distance, just flat, takes our breath away. The beauty on the summer range makes our work feel more like play. More than once, I've heard Tim share a thought that I too know is true. Cowboying's a whole lot easier when it comes with a great view. Thank you. And thank you very much. And don't we have some great views in this state? You know, every corner and everything in between. I have a friend who manages a horse ranch in Central Oregon. And a while back, he posted on the internet, his Facebook page, a close-up of his hand. That's all it was, just his hand. And it was just a ghastly-looking rope burn running right down the middle of his hand. And his Facebook post said, "Note to self, 3 dallies around an oak tree ain't near enough to stop a runaway hoss. Next time I'll be in a saddle when I toss my twine." And I thought, that should be a poem. So I wrote it. Oh, Teddy Frank of the Morrow Ranch was out mending fence alone when coming to his attention was a charging wild-eyed roan. Closing fast, that big spook-crazed mare was running for all she's worth. Her nostrils flared, her ears pinned flat, a cyclone of hooves and earth. Well, the mere sight of that hell-bent hoss would leave most men quite rattled, especially if, like Teddy was, surprised, on foot, unsaddled. Yeah, most men would duck, dive, or run, but not Teddy, no siree. He conjured himself up a plan he'd not let that wild mare flee. Now, Teddy Recall was all alone. Most people would say outmanned, but not those who know Teddy Frank, because he is one tough hand. Surveying the situation, he figures his only hope would be one chance when she ran by. He'd collect her with his rope. He'd toss a big old floating loop that would sail out of her ears. She'd know right quick she was bested, let go her primal fears. Oh, she'd settle down real sudden-like. They'd become the best of friends. But that's not how the story goes. No, that's not how the story ends, because the little wrinkle in Teddy's plan for that loose mare was the absence of a saddle. You can't just dally in midair. But now that mare's upon him in a flash, she'd be on by, so now or never he figured, and he let his catch twine fly. And then his plan adjusted some, because that horse sped up her run, and that's when Teddy realized his battle was just begun. With no horn wraps to slow her down, he run with her best he could. All the time he's thinking, another hand'd sure be good. Oh, that mare was building up some steam. They were covering lots of ground. Old Teddy had his hands full, but took time to look around, and he spots a lone white oak approaching. Figures that'll slow her down. So seizing opportunity, he runs some dallies around. Well, now I've caught her, Teddy thought, with 3 dallies around that oak. Breathed a big old sigh of relief, and detects a whiff of smoke. Was an odor some familiar, although not that of burning tree, and that's when Teddy realized, well, that burning smell is me. 3 dallies around an oak tree, Teddy says he has now learned, ain't near enough to stop a horse, which is why his hand's now burned. But rather than feeling defeated, Teddy takes it all in stride. He says, oh, it's just skin, a jump start on callousing up my hide. But next time, Teddy says, if needing to stop a runaway hoss, next time I'll be in the saddle, and then we'll see who's boss. Thank you. I appreciate that. So I am born and raised in Oregon, spent my whole life here. That might not have been. My mom was born and raised on a farm in north central Nebraska. And a few years back, my mom gave me some things that belonged to my grandfather, Elmer Blake. And included in that was the farm auction flyer announcing the sale of Elmer Blake's farm. And it listed everything that was for sale. And believe me, folks, when I tell you that everything was for sale. Based on some of the content of that farm auction ad, some things that I have that my grandfather gave me, and I knew my grandfather, I will leave you with this. Team geldings 4 and 6, one gray, one black as coal. Team roan mares aged 5 and 6, one comes with a foal. Smooth-mouthed gelding saddle horse, bay mare and bay roan colt, a sampling of the horses Elmer Blake listed to be sold. 38 head of stock in all listed in detail. As I am moving to Oregon, I will sell at public sale. Calves, yearling steers, and heifers, a registered Hereford bull, a dozen good milk cows, 2 fresh, another to soon pull. Farm machinery, household goods, chickens in there, feed, everything a family might ever want or need. Well, noon, that notice said, sale get underway, and it even noted lunch on site by Louie's Cafe. 2,500 bushels or more of oats, barley, and corn. 16 dozen pullets and hens, Plymouth Rock and White Leghorn. 100 ton of barley hay, red fodder, and sorghum cane. Back there, black amber's the name they gave that grain. Sulky, plow, lister, harrow, disc, and binder. In-gate seeder, 12-foot rake, a side hitch, sweep, and grinder. Plus other machinery listed used to work the land, horse-drawn gear, every piece. Means Grandpa was a hand. New 3-burner oil stove to table from the kitchen with 6 chairs, plus the high chair they used to put my mom in. Rocker, range, radio, dresser, sink, beds, dishes, milk pails, churn, everything you'd think. Well, even on that list for sale was Grandpa's livestock brand. There's something I'd love to have seen or better have in hand. I'd keep it with the arrowheads he gathered on their land, left there by the Ponca, the Pawnee, and a Sioux Lakota band. Speaking of keepsakes, heirlooms from the day, I've got Grandpa's fiddle and bow. I never heard him play. What I have heard is a treasure that'll never go away, stories of my heritage and roots, what paved our family's way. Mom telling of prairie rattlers sunning on the path and huddling in the cellar while tornadoes leveled wrath. The hard work of farming and keeping up with chores and a month of Sundays sometimes between trips to the stores. See, my roots were dug from Nebraska soil up north by the Dakota line. It's where my mom and aunt and uncles were born and raised until the time Grandpa decided to sell the farm and move the brood out west, take a shipyard job because the war was on. And for that, I am blessed. Because how else would my mom have ever met my dad? Fell in love, married, had a son they had. I am truly blessed that Grandpa sold the spread and replanted our roots in Oregon, where we would grow instead. Thank you. Thank you. No, come on. I want to take 40 more seconds. I want to tell you the rest of that story. You'll appreciate this. My grandfather's intention was to go back to Nebraska when the war was over and farm Nebraska again. They settled in Canby, Oregon, just up the valley here. And they weren't here too long before my grandma said, well, Elmer, you can go back to Nebraska, but you're going alone. I've discovered 4 seasons, fertile ground. I have discovered Oregon. Thank you to all of you who help people discover Oregon. Thank you very, very much.
Wow, just a master wordsmith. How about some more appreciation for our friend Tom? Tom, you've really proved that life is better in rhythm and rhyme, and we should speak this way all the time. Tom Swearingen, I hope we meet again. Somebody cut my mic. Yikes. I think we will not let me do that again. Thank you, Tom, and I'm so glad that your family stayed in Oregon. That was beautiful. Thank you. You guys like to clap. Why did you clap again? Just do it. How's dinner? Everyone's happy? Very good. Amy Lewin is the Vice President of Brand and Strategic Partnerships at Oregonian Media Groups here in Oregon. Amy is a master at helping organizations find their story, connect with their values, and create meaningful change. She is passionate about lifting and celebrating the state of Oregon, its people and their passions, the diversity of its culture, and the history of its many communities and industries. Let's watch a sizzle reel.
Oregon is so incredibly dynamic. To be on the coast, then in the high desert, and then the next day on the top of a mountain.
The best part about Mount Hood is it's like one of the only places you can ski in the country in the summertime.
Great gardens and parks, places to eat, really good wine to drink.
The Northwest is a lot of great music that's come out of here.
Full-time cat rapper, yeah, that's all I do. And change cat litter all day.
Here, it feels so not precious. It feels very neighborly.
My dad started it, he raised 30 years, I was a second generation. There's nothing else like it in the world.
Rocky has been playing here every single Saturday night since 1978.
Movie fans might recognize the building behind me as one of the main shooting locations in the 1975 movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
There's a lot of energy, a lot of excitement, and a lot of hard work going on here.
Well, I never had any aversion to quinoa.
Yo ya aprendí en México de dos generaciones.
You can truly do and be whatever you want.
That's why I drove across the country and I came here.
Hey, it's so great to be here. It's so great to be here with all of you. That was one of our first videos that we put together when we launched Here's Oregon about 2 years ago, and we just felt like it was right to play again one more time in recognition of an amazing Oregonian, Bob Moore, who passed away recently and just had an enthusiasm for the state and would have been in great company here tonight. So, recognition of Bob. So, I'm Amy, and this is my third Oregon Governor's Conference on Tourism. Who here is it their first conference? Yeah. I was here 3 years ago and it was my first and I had no idea what I was in store, like what was going to happen, and it was so much fun. So let me just assure you, you are in good company, and the next couple days are going to be a lot of fun. So welcome. So tonight we're celebrating all those who make a difference in Oregon, and I am a lifelong Oregonian. I started on a farm in Pleasant Hill and now have the honor to live in Southeast Portland and get to just love this place every day in my job at Oregonian Media Group. I'm in good company tonight and this week at the conference with the team at Oregonian Media Group, our publisher, John Maher, Community Relations Manager, Sean Sterling, Partnership Manager, Larissa, and our Destinations team. And I shout out them because they are committed to doing the work that is elevating your good work in your communities across the state, amplifying the incredible events and experiences that you offer. We've invested in the past year on growing our team and finding new ways to make that work elevated and prominent for people here in Oregon, but for people who may not be here but have an affinity and a love for this incredible state. Here is Oregon. What is it? It's a good news platform, and it's powered by the teams at the Oregonian Oregon Live, which boasts the largest audience ever in its 173 years of publishing in this amazing state. Yes. We are the largest source for news in the Pacific Northwest, And our team of journalists are driven to tell Oregon's story every day. We've expanded our team, we've expanded our partnerships through Here is Oregon to bring you good news journalism from every region of the state. And I want to invite you to explore the good with us. On the table, you've got cool little keychains with a QR code on it. On the back, it'll lead you to a page where you can see good news, authentic journalism from our teams and from our partners from across the state of Oregon. Take a look, follow us along. Every month, we publish more than 120 stories. We reach more than almost 2 million users a month. And it's this meaningful work, this organic storytelling that makes a difference. Some of our top videos this year include a story about the cowboy dinner tree in Central Oregon's Outback, which had more than 1 million views, just people wanting to see their steak and potatoes. And also, most recently, we featured a story called The Leap Day Lady, who celebrates all things February 29th. We've doubled down on our support for events. Since launching, we've supported many of your events. It amounts to about 216 or more sponsorships across the state. One weekend last September, part of our team was in Pendleton, immersing ourselves in the incredible community spirit that Pendleton offers. And I gotta say, I found myself quite confident in saying, "Let her buck," in a place that when I say that in Portland, I don't know, people are like, "Are you all right?" At the same time we were in Pendleton, we had a team in Eugene at Hayward Field celebrating world-class athletes at the Prefontaine Classic. We're here, we're invested in Oregon and making it this great state and finding the best things and continue to support your work. So tonight, as we celebrate the amazing people that make this state special, I just want to reiterate, good stories connect us. Heart, soul, mind, those words from our poet tonight. That connection to this place means a lot. And for all those being recognized tonight, we just want to say thank you. Thank you for making a difference in your community and helping us all press forward for a stronger future for Oregon. Cheers.
Thank you for being here, Amy. Beautifully said. Well, there are so many. Oh, you know what? I know some of you are still eating dinner, but you do have permission to start cutting into the cakes. Okay, so if you needed permission, consider it done. You should have everything you need to start whacking into those things. Enjoy. Okay, so there are so many people doing amazing work to support tourism in Oregon, and it's an honor to recognize this year's exceptional award winners. The first award, the Rising Star Award, recognizes some of the tourism industry's newer faces, those among us who have been joined the industry within the last 5 years. These recipients may not be seasoned industry vets, but they've already made a huge impact by demonstrating leadership, commitment, and a passion for Oregon's travel and tourism industry. Maybe I shouldn't have told you to cut into the cakes. This year, we are thrilled to honor 7 rising stars. The first rising star comes to us from the rural Central Oregon town of Antelope, where they've been busy building and inspiring a budding tourism economy. Brandy and Larry are the owners of Antelope Market, and their vision is to establish Antelope's tourism economy in an accessible and sustainable way by rehabilitating the Antelope Market, creating camping and accessible lodging options, and leading an effort to get the small town, which is a population of 38, so not quite 5, but just about, certified as a dark sky community with Dark Sky International. It goes without saying, tourism has the potential to be completely transformative for the under-resourced town and community thanks to their leadership, creativity, and resourcefulness. Congratulations, Brandy and Larry McNamee. Well done. Everybody get on out to Antelope. Our next rising star hails from the Oregon coast. Finn Johnson the North Coast Destination Management Coordinator with Oregon Coast Visitors Association, has just completed his first year in Oregon's tourism industry. In that short time, he has helped create and launch a travel impact calculator to measure emissions and suggest ways for travelers to offset the impact of their travel to the coast. He helped create the North Coast Transit Plan to lower carbon emissions for day trippers and reduced traffic and parking congestion, connecting communities, accessibility, learning, community convenience. Excuse me. Pardon me. Finn, where are you, my friend? Welcome to the stage. Our rising star in the Eastern Oregon sky is none other than Katie Boucher. In Katie's brief but bright 2 years as Special Projects Coordinator for Eastern Oregon Visitors Association, she has demonstrated remarkable leadership and commitment to advancing the region's tourism industry. Katie's focus on cultural heritage, diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility initiatives set her apart as the rising star for Eastern Oregon. Katie has passionately championed accessibility in tourism, working to ensure that Eastern Oregon becomes a welcoming destination for all. Her tenaciousness around up-leveling accessibility and learning from other RDMOs and partners who are doing accessibility work inspired Travel Oregon's Accessibility Learning Community Convenience. Congratulations, Katie. And on behalf of Katie, Elena Corollo, Executive Director of the Eastern Oregon Visitors Association, is accepting the award on Katie's behalf. She was unable to join us tonight. So thank you, Elena, for being Kent Crumpschmidt is a rising star due to his passion for public service and support of inclusive, safe, and informed visitor experiences in Mount Hood and Columbia River Gorge region. A former Multnomah County Sheriff, Kent founded Sasquatch Shuttle in 2021 to create an accessible and inclusive car-free system for accessing the outdoor recreation opportunities along the historic Columbia River Byway. Kent is an active member of the CGTA Gorge-Free Car-Free Action Team and helped create a downloadable guide to the waterfall corridor for wheelchair users and visitors with disabilities. Help me welcome Kent Crumpschmidt. Shatrine Craig shines her rising star on the Portland region, where she tirelessly serves as the Director of Business Development and Resources at the Lake Oswego and West Lynn Business Recovery Center. Shatrine's goal is to reach, impact, and support all small businesses, and her belief that we are stronger together shows in everything that she does. Shatrine collaborates with Mount Hood Territory and other tourism partners on many projects, including the Wander Willamette website, where she incorporated interactive map filters that allow users to locate women-owned, veteran-owned, minority-owned, LGBTQIA Two-Spirit Plus, Latinx, BIPOC, and AAPI businesses. She also set up 2 seasonal Wander Willamette programs, a holiday passport, and an August dining passport, and she works tirelessly to secure media for local businesses. Thank you, and congratulations, Shatrine. They're so appreciated. Our next rising star is Megan Pugh, the Executive Director of the Illinois Valley Chamber of Commerce, Southern Oregon region. Megan is committed to community building and has been instrumental in transforming the tourism economy of the Illinois Valley. A champion for both the Destination Ready and downtown programs, Megan has led local initiatives including Main Street, local signature events, and critical collaboration with the Oregon Caves and Chateau. She has successfully fostered collaboration and unity among local businesses, residents, and organizations to work towards common goals. Megan's resourcefulness has been a key driver in implementing innovative solutions for the benefit of the Illinois Valley and specifically Cave Junction through compounding crises including COVID and closures of 199 with wildfires. Her ability to leverage limited resources effectively has not only enhanced the Chamber's operations, but has also created new opportunities for local businesses and individuals. Please help me congratulate Megan. Our next rising star is Jesse Fabrizio Stover, Willamette Valley region. Jesse joined Willamette Valley Visitors Association as a passionate Rare AmeriCorps member in 2021 and has shown exemplary growth and development, enthusiasm, and dedication to the tourism industry during her short tenure. Jesse has continued to take on more challenges and excel at achieving projects and moving the tourism industry forward in the Willamette Valley, particularly in the arena of global sales and destination development. Congratulations, Jesse. Come on up. Well done. How about a round of applause for everyone? And I want to highly encourage you to give out high fives to each of our rising stars when you see them later tonight and throughout the conference, okay? Deal? So next up, the Jean Landsman Gemütlichkeit Award honors an individual of the Oregon ski community who embodies the spirit and effect of Gemütlichkeit, which I really want to work on my accent for that one. So the spirit, a German language word used to convey the idea of a state or feeling of warmth, friendliness, and good cheer. Other qualities encompassed by the term include coziness, quality of life, and a sense of belonging and well-being. If anyone embodies these qualities, I think you will all agree it's Jeff Konstam, owner and operator of Timberline Lodge and Ski Area. Let's take a look.
Let's go, I'll hit the road with you. Let's go, where our hearts they lead us to. 'Cause home is anywhere when I'm with you.
The Jean Landsman Award is optimism, friendliness, helpfulness. It's a great honor. When I was born in 1962, my dad had been operating Timberline since 1955, and we actually lived here in the hotel at a house in Portland. In 1992, I became the president of the company, and I'm in the same role ever since.
But having that connection, from day one and growing up here, there's no other way you can get that other than being here. It's not like he was a hire, right out of college and, brought us to where we are. It's in his blood, it's in his genes. You can't buy that.
Timberline fuses that sort of sentiment of friendliness, coziness, especially a sense of belonging.
A lot of the culture, I think, comes from a lot of the characteristics that Jeff embodies.
I don't know of anyone that could carry the qualities needed to meet all the challenges.
Positivity just comes out of Jeff, and he leads by example, and that trickles down into the staff, and then therefore it makes it very easy to translate a world-class experience to our customers.
It's a beautiful location. It's an amazing facility.
The people that visit here, whether they're skiing or just looking at the lodge for the first time, it's lifelong memories. That's what we do here.
It's not a testament to me, it's a testament to the place.
The actual feel when you come to Timberline Lodge or if you're skiing out on the hill, it has the same sort of family-friendly feel that it did 30, 40 years ago.
We have modern equipment, but the lodge remains the historic national landmark that it is.
The hospitality side hasn't changed at all. It's been a genuine, welcoming, what can we do for the person that walks through the door? And the goal is to take the best care of them and create the lifelong memory.
Jeff's dad started a program with our Timberline mascots, the St. Bernards, Heidi and Bruno.
When we lived here, the dogs were our dogs. We evolved the program into where, like, Scott owns Heidi, and Kim Nyland in our human resources office owns Bruno, but the public loves them.
Perhaps we will name them Gramuklakite next time.
If you ask anyone in the region what they think about Timberline, everyone wants to show it off to their friends who come from out of town. Everyone has a sense of ownership in it, and that's a good thing. It's easy to root for. It's easy to want to care. It's easy to want to be a part of it, and that's this Gene Landsman Gramuklakite term, I think.
The feedback that we get from guests, no matter where they come from all over the world, a majority of it is magical and extraordinary and comforting, and generation after generation after generation comes, whether it's to ski or to come during the holidays or to come enjoy what Timberline offers that no other place can.
There's such a deep history and culture of skiing at Timberline. It's unique really to any place in the world, quite frankly, and that's what it's all about.
What's really special about skiing here at Timberline is the vibe you feel in the winter, and then just most uniquely is the fact that you can do it in August. You know, I can't imagine anywhere else I'd rather be.
We're blessed to be able to be working at Timberline where people aspire to want to be a part of that. The fact that we are receiving this award we're honored by it, we're grateful for it, but we also think it's what Timberline is.
Please welcome to the stage Jeff Koenstam. Another big round of applause. It's an incredible legacy that you are walking forward, Jeff. Thank you and congratulations and well done. And then we'll have a talk after the awards ceremony about the fact that you didn't bring Bruno and Heidi up. Oh, be ready for that. The Leadership Award recognizes individuals, DMOs, or businesses who champion the value of tourism and whose exemplary vision and commitment help improve visitor experiences in our communities, region, and state, and whose leadership contributes significantly to the recognition and impact of Oregon's travel and tourism industry. This year, Travel Oregon honors Rebecca Bond, the Executive Director of Albany Visitors Association, for her tireless work promoting the city of Albany and ensuring its local tourism businesses thrive. Let's watch.
Let's go, I'll hit the road with you. Let's go, where our hearts they lead us to. 'Cause home is anywhere when I'm with you.
Wow,
Wow, Albany is the place to be. I love the historic architecture. I love the people that I work with. I'm here because of all of these folks and so many more that we get to work with every day.
I personally believe Albany is the greatest town in the state of Oregon and probably the West Coast.
I want everyone to know what a wonderful community we have. I want them to recognize our small businesses. I just really like to lift them up.
I have worked with Rebecca since the first day she showed up at the Albany Visitors Association. And she just hit the ground running almost 28 years ago and never stopped.
So actually, I started as a volunteer and worked my way through all the jobs. Started as the executive director about 5 years ago.
I had the pleasure of working with Rebecca at Albany Visitors Association, the Albany Downtown Association, and now here at the Carousel, the building we're all in today. And truly, without Rebecca's leadership, this Carousel building would not be here, and the thousands and thousands of people that visit here wouldn't know about it without Rebecca and all the work that she does through Albany Visitors to help tell our story.
It's her dedication to the community and her ability to communicate with so many different kinds of people.
The smile, the attitude, the ever-present positivity that comes off of her, radiates off of her is amazing.
She's one of those people who, like a benevolent shark, she's constantly moving, but she's taking everybody along with her. So she has a vision.
Our vision is to include everyone. We are adamant about making sure that people are heard. We want to listen to what they have to say, what they have to contribute. And the more people that we have involved in all of our activities, in our events, the more welcoming we are to visitors too.
And having somebody at the Visitors Association that is driving that vision, driving the atmosphere, bringing people to the city and bringing people out in the city to participate, it makes this place much better for all of us to live.
Rebecca has a talent for identifying what needs to happen in order for people to feel at home.
And one of them is inclusivity and accessibility.
Accessibility is really important. It's important for people to be able to get around and to navigate and to feel welcome everywhere they go. I was so excited to be able to get an automatic door opener at our office. I mean, it's just a start though.
If we can do this with our door, opening doorways for people, we can create a template for other businesses to see how they can also do this.
If you haven't picked up on it yet, this isn't a job for Rebecca. This is a lifestyle for her.
It really makes a difference for our communities in the economic impact of tourism, but it also adds to the value of life here in Albany for our residents. What we do creates opportunities for people to enjoy where they live.
One of the things about working with bringing local people in means that you bring that volunteer base in. You're bringing that enthusiasm.
Getting volunteers in the way that Rebecca and the Visitors Association is able to do is pretty miraculous, I think.
Well, and she does it by showing up. She shows up.
Yeah, she's present.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Present. And it makes people want to do it, not just that, oh, I glad Rebecca's doing it. I guess I have to do it too.
It is essential for this person here sitting in front of me to be our executive director of our Visitors Association.
Knowing that we have one of the most capable professionals in the country at the helm of our organization, it inspires confidence.
What Rebecca does best is just bring joy. Wherever she is, she's got the passion and the energy, and she's always telling our story, relentless through tourism to tell the reason why people need to get off the freeway and discover this historic downtown. And without her in her 27 years, we wouldn't be what we are today. So come visit Albany and say hello to her at the Albany Visitors Center.
Please help me congratulate Rebecca Bond. Rebecca, just an exquisite effort in Albany. Well done. The Stewardship Award recognizes an activity, event, project, or program that utilizes a stewardship approach to positively impact Oregon's economy, culture, and natural environment. Travel Oregon is proud to honor the Nez Perce Wallowa homeland with the Stewardship Award this year, a nonprofit organization charged with caring for and managing the land that belongs to the original homeland of the Wallowa Band of the Nez Perce. Let's watch the film.
Let's go, I'll hit the road with you. Let's go, where our hearts they lead us to. 'Cause home is anywhere when I'm with you.
Visitors come here and they say, oh, well, you must be the Nez Perce tribe, or you must be with the federal government or the state government or whatever it is. We are a nonprofit organization, and that's what makes us so unique.
We're not affiliated with any government tribes. We're affiliated with descendants of bands that lived here.
The long-term goal is to have Wallowa Band people back in the valley, part of the government, living here, working here. That is the goal.
When the tribes got displaced, people are displaced all over the Northwest, even though the majority of their heritage comes from here. So this organization is a great way to bring people who are descended from those tribes all together.
35 years ago, a man came to town called Taz Connor, and he had a dream to welcome the Nez Perce back to their homeland. And so a group of people gathered and we started meeting and we planned the first powwow.
There's a lot that they're balancing here with kind of that visitor side, which is obviously the side I get to hear about more, but then the land itself and kind of that community piece.
With the Wallowa homeland, we're incorporating different aspects of stewardship where we are honoring and taking care of the sacred culture that's existed in the Wallowa Valley for thousands of years. And then we have the 323 acres right outside of town. We have 3.5-mile hiking trail, 1-mile gravel loop trail. The Wallowa River runs through. We have the dance arbor, a longhouse structure, a commercial kitchen. We have the historic farmhouse, which is available for use. We have horse corrals where people can come and board their horses.
We have our own cemetery up on the hill, just knowing that there is a place where you can, even at the end, be able to come back to.
It is connection to place. So that is why we make it a working environment. It's supposed to be taken care of. It's supposed to be a place that is used.
That stewardship is about us holding the space for all of those things at one time.
And the community has totally come to support this project.
We're not saying it's off limits. So if you're not Wallowa Band, you can't come to the homeland. That's not what we're doing. We're trying to do this molding and meshing of people and cultures and generations and honor, the people that were here first.
My husband was a history teacher and there was no curriculum in the school that taught about the Nez Perce, and I think this project has really brought that to the front in this community.
So there is that aspect of education that also correlates to the stewardship, because if you have to be educated about a place or you won't care about it.
When visitors are coming here, we've held a space for them to learn. We've held a space for them to experience.
Seeing people hear the story for the first time, for the folks that I've worked with and kind of brought here, I think they just get really inspired by it.
I don't think I've ever not had a visitor who wasn't saying thank you. Thank you, this mattered a lot to me.
So I've been attending the celebration for 30-something years now. If that hadn't been happening, I don't know how I would have had that connection to place. Now I have a little 1-year-old who attended his first powwow here last year, and he's gonna continue until he's my age, so.
Working here, volunteering here, being in community here, this award, this is kind of
what we do.
It's quite an honor to be recognized in this way, and I see myself as being kind of a guardian of what the original purpose was.
It's just been a really good place for people to return to.
Please join me in honoring Nez Perce Wallowa homeland. Thank you, Nez Perce Wallowa homeland, for being here. The Partnership Award recognizes that creative partnerships can be an effective way to enhance the visitor experience and promote a region or destination. By leveraging traditional and non-traditional partnerships, organizations and businesses can maximize budget, capacity, and skill set, creating an increase in efficiencies and a higher level aligned outcome. In 2023, Travel Southern Oregon Coast did exactly that during their year-long promotional campaign aimed at raising awareness for Whiskey Run trails. Let's watch the video.
Let's go, I'll hit the road with you. Let's go, where our hearts they lead us to. 'Cause home is anywhere when I'm with you.
Well, this is a partnership award, and Travel Southern Oregon Coast didn't do anything alone. The Whiskey Run Trail from start to finish has been a partnership within the community.
TSOC, Travel Southern Oregon Coast, has put together this partnership that's created a mountain bike destination.
When I first came here, I came with my mountain bike, but then realized that there's not a lot of trails to ride it, and that was 25 years ago. Now it's a completely different ballgame. There's so many more reasons to have a bike in your garage.
The trail system at Whiskey Run and the ability to partner in this way really helped us create a culture in this community, and it's just been a spectacular collaboration.
For us to be able to join with TSOC and all of the communities that's included in that, it makes sense for all of us to work together because alone we can't do it.
Whiskey Run is a 32-mile mountain bike optimized trail system, and it's an all year round riding system. It's mostly focused around unified hubs, so you climb up and descend and you can be back to your car within 25 minutes or less. There's about 400 feet of elevation drop, and we've got a little bit of something for everyone.
One of TSOC's main roles was bringing everybody together, and we couldn't have done this without Coos County because they had the wisdom to take kind of a harebrained idea and run with it and put a trail system on a working forest.
The trail system has really evolved since 2017 when the first construction began.
We now have pit toilets, we have bike repair stations, and we're in the process of putting in a campground. After we completed phase 3 of the trail, we decided it was time to promote it.
and we knew we couldn't do it alone. So this was a year-long campaign that started out with 5 videos that highlighted people who were new to mountain biking all the way up to shredders. And then it ended with the Whiskey Run Discovery Weekend, which was a huge community celebration.
We were able to work with the local bike club and kind of figure out how a festival should and would work.
This really opened up an opportunity for us to join that celebration in a way that we've been craving. We created a beer. It's an IPA, and it's named after one of the Black Diamond trails at Whiskey Run. Every one of the cans has a map on it of Whiskey Run. It was one of the best attended beer release parties we've ever had.
The Mountain Bike Club is receiving funds from the beer that you guys created, specifically going to maintenance at Whiskey Run.
And it's amazing for economic development, economic resurgence of our recreation area. It brought a whole new culture to the South Coast.
Now we have these more outdoor recreation opportunities, these world-class trail systems coming online, and I think it'll be easier for us to attract more younger professionals and working-class folks to come here and make the community more well-rounded.
And that's really cool to see because that's going to make it easy for us to invest in the future in more trails and more recreation.
It was a collaborative effort that was so easy on so many levels and so beneficial to this entire community that it really makes sense that the partnerships that were created with this campaign should be celebrated. It's just the beginning.
Yeah, we're already talking about what next year is going to look like. I think one thing is really clear, that no individual organization could pull off what we did as a team. And I think that's a pretty awesome.
It's just everybody gets along down here.
Yeah, well, we're great people.
Please help me congratulate Travel Southern Oregon Coast. What an incredible effort, Travel Southern Oregon Coast. The Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Accessibility Award is presented to a business or destination that has demonstrated leadership in raising awareness or facilitating change to build a more inclusive and welcoming environment for visitors to Oregon. Since opening in 2020, this year's award winner, Campfire Hotel in Bend, has taken pride in being a safe and welcoming destination for all, literally. Let's take a look.
Let's go, I'll hit the road with you. Let's go, where our hearts they lead us to. 'Cause home is anywhere when I'm with you.
The minute you walk on to the property and into the lobby, you've arrived. You're somewhere different.
Early on, the intention was always, how do we really hone in on what hospitality is and what makes a hotel great? The Campfire is this really positive, happy place.
It is a campus, and so people have their options of being here. They can be at the pool, they can go in their rooms, it's an entire experience.
It's really camp life meets city life, and we're all about fun and vibes and just a good time.
gives me so much joy to hear people say, oh, I love Campfire. That's such the great place. It's just been really cool to know that it's a part of the actual community and not just a hotel.
I mean, we're not part of a community if we're not giving back to it. We're not connecting with these, different organizations that are really making a difference, and we want to be a part of that in any way we can. And I think that's always been a really important thing to us and to our ownership and just who we are as a culture.
What I really appreciate what they're offering here is inclusivity and being the center for events.
Drag brunch and trivia nights, poolside DJ and karaoke.
The thing with the drag brunch is the energy gets just so high. Everyone's leaving with a smile on their face. We have guests that come out, ask what's going on. Hey, can I come check this out? It's such a high energy thing, and everyone's so positive and happy when they leave.
And it's great for the community too, right? Because they donate proceeds to local nonprofits and LGBTQ organizations.
Being a small organization that's independent, we can try things out and experiment, and if they work, we build on it. If they don't, we go back to the drawing board.
We discuss things constantly. We're always talking about ways to improve. We're always looking at ways to get more involved in the community. And
it's so fun to work with the Campfire because you can bring all your ideas, and no idea is a bad idea.
The biggest event that we've partnered with them on with Visit Central Oregon is their Pride Fest.
We saw the opportunity where we can make it grow to other areas to just make this a huge community event. Not that it wasn't before, but we wanted to expand on it, and now it's just kind of like, what can we do next? What can we do now?
Our front desk staff is just amazing.
They're excited to work here and showcase what's going on here. I would say that, that's at the forefront. It's all about finding the right people that promote that inclusivity, that promote welcoming and celebrating people.
We want to hire good people who are kind and just enjoy being with other people. And then that other stuff, really, it just comes naturally.
The culture here is just so amazing. I keep going back to that.
When you work with people who you feel have your back, you give 120%.
They have a special team here, and the ownership definitely emphasizes pride in all the values that they share.
It kind of speaks to the place that we are. It feels safe here. It feels very inclusive.
People come from all over just because of our inclusivity. It's just incorporated, weaved into the fabric of the experience here.
There's so many pieces that have contributed to the culture here. It's not just any one person, any one idea. And when I think of where that all stems from, it starts with kindness.
We don't just do things because, we're supposed to do that. It is because we're passionate about it, and we're gonna do it fully, not just, halfway. It's sustainability, it's inclusivity, it's accessibility, all those things we wanna do with heart and with purpose.
I am so proud of you, Campfire Hotel. Come on up here. I am so proud of you, Campfire Hotel. You really have created something so wonderful. Come visit, y'all. There's a saltwater pool. You don't find that everywhere. The Oregon Hospitality Award recognizes a person company, or organization that has made significant contributions to delivering excellence in hospitality for Oregon's tourism industry. Travel Oregon is thrilled to honor Jaleh Farrell of Spoken Hostel in Mitchell, Oregon, a beacon of warm welcome and exceptional hospitality and service for cyclists and explorers of rural Eastern Oregon, and this year's Hospitality Award. Let's watch the video.
Let's go, I'll hit the road with you. Let's go, where our hearts they lead us to. 'Cause home is anywhere when I'm with you.
We are in a hostel in Mitchell, Oregon, population 125.
45 minutes to an hour to anywhere from here. You're talking about a very remote location.
I like to say we are in the middle of Oregon and up in Eyelash.
We also happen to be on the Transcontinental Bikeway, and that's what makes this Spoken Hostel so special.
My husband and I decided to travel from Virginia to Oregon on our bicycles, and we found Mitchell and Spoken Hostel in 2017, and we've been back every year.
We have been well adopted by cyclists, not because we set out to be a cyclist hostel. We are an adventurers hostel. So if you're hiking, if you're walking across America, if you're stopping on the way to Boise or Portland and you just need a good rest for the night, we are that hostel as well. The hostel opened in 2016. A lot of cyclists used to always stay at the park. I thought if we could get motorcyclists and car travelers and bicyclists to get here and stay here, this would just be such a great economic underpinning for this small community.
It's always nice to see a hostel customer come in at 6 or 7 in the evening in the summertime.
At Spoken Hostel, we have 12 beds, and we have 2 rooms that allow for a semi-private scenario and have 2 shared bathrooms and a shared shower. You can go down and cook in our kitchen anytime that you'd like.
People ride across the country both ways, west to east or east to west. We rode east to west.
And along the way, we would meet cyclists that would say, oh, when you get to Oregon, you have to stay at the Spoken Hostel.
So being a donation-based hostel, we're not in it for the money.
It's all donation-based, volunteer-based.
A lot of people will stay here and they give donations, but then they pay it forward because they experience great hospitality here. They want someone else who can't afford it to come.
When you ride your bike across the country, the route's very well known.
We had already traveled 4,000 miles, which was about 75 nights, and yet something stands out about this place above all the other places.
They've made a difference in a really small town.
So we host roughly about 1,000 guests a year, and that changes everybody's bottom line.
We all feed off of each other. The more businesses we have in this town, the better off we are as business owners.
We have actually had the opportunity to host events. We've had races that have been started out here, and that's always good for the other businesses as well. You offer some beds, you offer some smiles, you offer some popsicles, and you're a hero.
Jaleh's hospitality is more than just physical rest. It really fills your heart. It warms your soul.
How many times have we been here and cyclists will show up and then the next morning they'll come out slow and they'll say, you know, we decided to take a rest day. And that tells you something about the place, that everybody, you know, it's just another day on the trip, and yet suddenly it's more, right? It's a place to kind of stay and rest and recover.
Through her genius and lovingness and just the ability of her to be so hospitable to people, she has been able to magnify what shouldn't even be able to be done, and not only done it well, but done it well enough to win this amazing award.
Really am in it so that people can stay long enough to find out why we love it here. So many of them are from out of country that send people back here. And I was absolutely blown away by this international culture that came because I opened the door and said, yes, come in. Connections happen here that don't happen anywhere else on the entire trail. It's so exciting to be a part of somebody's adventure forever.
Jaleh Farrell, you are hospitality personified. Please help me cheer her on. My friends, how about a round of applause for all of our winners and all of the beautiful films we've watched tonight? My goodness, I'm not going to sleep for a week. This is the most fun I've had in a very long time. I also want to say thank you all for celebrating each other. You stood up again and again and again, and you clapped and cheered, and it's just wonderful. So how about another round of applause for all of you? As a reminder, all award winners will come to the stage after the program closes. We're going to take some more photos. The rest of you can head to Bentley's for one last drink so we can celebrate all of the achievements that the tourism industry has made in our state. I want to remind you that opening general session starts right here in this room tomorrow at 8:30. Breakfast will be at 7:30. Introverts, I'm not going to point you out. But introverts, if you need to walk down the hall during the conference and take a break and just stare at a blank space, please do that. Take care of yourselves. Extroverts, go nuts. Have a wonderful 2 days of conference. Thank you so much for having me. Travel Oregon, so grateful. I'm Shannon Kelly. I look forward to seeing you at Bentley's. Enjoy the conference.